Obviously put a big round of applause to the sponsor, Maverick Garages, Leanne, to Max, to all the team that put this together, but as importantly, to all the artists that have appeared totally free of charge to make sure that you've had a great afternoon. And they, you know, I mean, that is absolutely fantastic. So again, thank you. For those that don't know what Donnas Dream House is about, I'll just give you a very, very brief. Donna died, our daughter, in 1996, and as a parent it's impossible to fulfil your children's wishes when they're alive. So to try to do them when they die is even more of a task. But I'm very proud to say that I can stand here, thanks to people like yourselves and hundreds more, that we've been able to fulfill Donna's three wishes. One of them being to open a children's hospice in Blackpool. That's up and running now and called Bryan House. We started the fund off and raised £14,000. The second wish that she wanted was to raise money to send children to Florida, because all our neighbours and friends and people that were supporting us at that time sent us to Florida, so we wanted to pay that back, so we raised $34,000 and sent 16 families off to Florida for a holiday of a lifetime. But the most important wish, Donna wanted a holiday home or holiday experiences here in the UK, and especially a base at Blackpool, because she said, Dad, if they can do it in America, we can do it 10 times better, but it's got to be for the children that can't go to Disney, can't go to Florida. Children are at the very end of their life, normally only with about 9 to 10 weeks to live. There are also teenagers as well that we look after, but most importantly, there mustn't be one single paid worker at the charity. Everybody has to be a volunteer. So even though it's 16 years ago since we started, still today we have no paid workers, and that includes myself and the other trustees. Every single person is a volunteer. Our main source of volunteers are prisoners from Kirkham Open Prison, finishing their sentences off and coming and looking after the house, doing the building work, maintenance work, doing the beds, doing the painting, running the charity shop, looking after the vehicles, the minibuses, you name it, they do it. But when Donna set up the charity, she said it had to be that when the families come, it was for mum, dad, brothers and sisters, and also the poorly child, but it had to be totally free. They weren't to pay for anything. So we've obviously had to do a lot of networking, and when the families come, everything is totally free. We look after something like 1,600 families a year that come through the Donnas Dream House project. We just recently launched a 27-foot cruiser at Garstang Canal that we're still in the middle of refurbishing, but when it's up and running, we'll be also giving day trips out to the families on the Garstang Canal as well. We've got a holiday network in Torquay where 52 hotels now give us our rooms, and we send families on holidays there as well. So it is a mammoth task, and it takes an awful lot of funds to keep it going. We have no government grants whatsoever. In fact, they turn us down because they say we don't give local outputs, because most of our children come from outside of Blackpool, or you know, we don't qualify for grants from Children in Need or any of them. So we rely solely on days like today and the generosity of people coming. So again, thank you very much for that. I'm going to finish by reading you something that you've got some of these leaflets on the table, but this family came recently. Sorry to keep you waiting, Dave. I'm getting old, I've got to put the other glasses on. This was a family that came to the Dream House just recently, and they sent us a little letter and an email saying thank you. But we felt it really says what the Dream House is all about. And it's about a little girl called Rebecca. Imagine being trapped inside a body which doesn't work when you asked it to. That's what it's like for Rebecca. Her family will never hear her say, "I love you." And one of our special guests was Rebecca, 11-year-old, who has Rett syndrome, for which there is no cure. This has robbed Rebecca of her speech, and her family will never hear her say, "I love you," although it's clear she does. She will be totally dependent on others to support her throughout her short life. She is a very happy, sociable little girl who loves meeting people, and we actually made her our guest of honour at the Valentine's Ball in February, and she was an absolute hit. The family then went on to write, "Donnas Dream House is a very special place for families such as ourselves. It provides an oasis of calm, fun and relaxation from our usual chaotic and exhausting lives. We can take time to enjoy our time alone, not only in the house but in the jacuzzi, pool and private cinema. Something very special happened in the cinema room. From Rebecca's reaction, the best film ever made has to be Finding Nemo. And when Bruce the shark appeared, Rebecca shouted, 'Bruce,' in a crystal clear voice. Some Rett sufferers have a once-in-a-lifetime moment when they say something spontaneously. That was ours. We will never forget that moment, and it has never been repeated." Carol, Rebecca's mum. So that's what we tried to do at Donnas Dream House, is create those very special memories, very special treasured smiles to ensure that the families have a wonderful short break wherever they are for Donnas Dream House. I'm sure a lot of you know, why does it always happen? Sorry about that.
Alton always here.
Yeah, as I'm sure a lot of you will have seen in the papers, we had a horrific arson attack 2 years ago that brought Donnas Dream House to its knees, and it was totally burned down and destroyed. We've had to completely rebuild it. We've rebuilt it now thanks to people like yourself, and some of the artists here that have been appearing tonight and help organising the event was the first over and said, "Right, where do we start? What do you want us to do? How can we help to rebuild the dream? You can't let it ever close." So we have rebuilt it, we have reopened, we're now taking more families than we've ever done. And as I say, if it hadn't been for sponsors like Maverick Garage and for all the artists and people that put on shows, we couldn't do it. But more importantly, you putting your hands in your pocket, knowing that every single penny is going to make sure that a family that might even be someone near close to you or even a relative will have a wonderful holiday experience. So again, thank you very much, and can I just say thank you to, is it Alan that done the first number? Tom. That was actually Donna's favourite song. So, what's meant to be, but it meant very special to us, opening the day after day. So again, thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening, a wonderful afternoon, and thank you for all your support. Thank you.